Hello, it's Sunday the 2nd of April. This is UK and Worldwide Truth News. I come to you the day after I attended the March Against Terrorism, organised by Britain First. Whether they was the best people to organise that, I don't know, because people associate wrong things with them. They see them as racist. When you actually speak to them, they're not racist. They're like me. They just don't want Islamic ideology that says that murder, rape, beheadings, everything that you can imagine that is disgusting is okay by Islam. Because it was the founder of it, he had some ramblings of his put into a book. He was a paedophile, he was a necrophiliac, he was a murderer, and when you've got your ideology based on that, what's going to come out of it? It can be little good coming out of it. Yes, of course there's good bits in the Quran. Probably a lot of the Quran has good bits in it, but the bad bits are horrendous. And they want to run the world as an Islamic world. They don't really want to stop in a country, find a nice little country that's far better than the ones that they couldn't build up. So they come to these countries that are already civilised, and then they want to take them backwards to their laws and their ways, but also have the freedoms and the engineering, the modernisation that the Western world can offer them. The march yesterday was totally peaceful. I didn't even feel threatened by those Antifa idiots at all. They don't frighten me in any shape or form. They're just pathetic kids that don't know what to do next. And anybody who has to cover their face when they go out, you're hiding something. What are you hiding? You don't want to be seen. Why don't you want to be seen? There wasn't one person in the march with their face covered. Not one. Because we stand by what we say. We want Britain to be a better, safer, and perhaps more British again than it's become. Because of all this Islamic filth that is going on, Britain's values have been going downhill. And who do we blame for that? Do we blame Muslims? Do we blame Muhammad? Do we blame Islam in general? Do we blame Allah? No, I don't think we do, because they'll do what they can get away with. They always have done, and always will do. Done it for 1400 years. The people we should blame are the people that we was about 1,000 yards from yesterday. And that is Westminster. Theresa May and her cohorts. They are allowing all of this to go on around Great Britain, knowing it's going on. The reason they're doing it, in my opinion, because they are getting so much money from their Arab friends, Muslim friends, that they don't want to risk losing all that money coming in. And they are willing to suffer losing the country, the whole country, to Islamification in order just to get money. They can't say they're doing it for the nation, because they're giving the nation away. The nation's being taken over. So what do we do? You do anything that's too extreme, you get arrested. You do anything that's not extreme, but the government don't like it, you get arrested. Islamic followers can go out and say, behead anybody who insults Allah, kill the police, we're going to take over your country, we're going to take over the world. They can do or say whatever they want. Whatever they want. Just look it up on YouTube. It's what they do. And they know they're untouchable. When was the last time you heard of a protester getting arrested at an Islamic protest? Probably never. They don't dare. The police are scared of them. They're scared of touching them. I don't know whether they're scared of them. So what do we do? Well, all we can do is keep faith with what we believe in and keep protesting and hoping more and more of Britain becomes aware of what's going on so that we can build together groups of people that won't stand for this anymore. And when we achieve those numbers, the government won't be able to ignore us. I was very disappointed yesterday at the turnout for the march. Yeah, there was 300 to 400 very patriotic, I always mess that word up, patriotic, loyal people who want the best for Great Britain. Not the EDL, because they're very different. They are quite a racist movement. But if you watch the video I put on, I only did about just under 2 minutes of it, because I was too busy listening and being part of it. But you'll hear a bit by Jada Franson, and she gave a journalist an answer when she was asked what she thought it was like to be British. And I think you'll be interested in her answer. It will tell you a lot about Britain First. And it will certainly put to bed a lot of the misconceptions of Britain First. They probably didn't start off well, and probably had wrong people in the wrong places. But I think they're moving away from that now. I hope so, because I think to have any kind of racism in what you do detracts from what you're trying to do. You're not trying to hate Muslim people, black people, yellow people, white people, green people. If there's green people, you need to get to the hospital now. But what we do hate, as I said earlier, is what comes with the ideology of a certain type of religion. When it means people think they can rape girls, rape women, murder girls, murder women. They won't kill too many men, because unless there's about 100 of them to one, they're not interested. Didn't see one Muslim man yesterday at all. Not one. I saw one Muslim woman this morning when I watched a video of it, when she was with those Antifa idiots all masked up. She showed her face, but she was wearing sunglasses, so you couldn't really tell who she was. But yeah, anyway, that is what I hate. It's what they're doing to the country. They're bringing it down. They're going to destroy it eventually. It is actually a known fact that in the Islamic faith that they marry first cousins. I believe, I'm not sure, I believe that is actually legal here. But doctors don't advise because it causes problems with birth as genetic consequences. And Islamic followers have been marrying first cousins for 1400 years. And it is inbreeding. You can't get away from the fact that it's inbreeding. And there's I feel sorry for the people that are born disabled, damaged, many of them mentally, and from the medical notes that I've read online, the IQ of these people is reduced significantly, and that cannot help with future generations of Islamic people, because they won't have the ability to make a choice whether what they're doing is right or wrong. Not that that's made much difference over the years. I saw a video the other day and I put it up on YouTube, and it was about a 70, 80-year-old man coming through the front door on his wedding day. All these women around, woo, 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 woo. And they follow him in, they're all filming. Goes into the bedroom. And who's on the bed waiting for him? His bride. He's what I would say was between a 9 and 11-year-old bride. And the women are cheering him on. Yeah! There he goes and gets on the bed with her. The girl looks petrified. Absolutely petrified. But this is normal to them. It's okay. And that's what we want in this country. That's what's going to happen to our girls if they get involved with any kind of Muslim family. Because you don't know what's going to happen with love there. No, you know, some Muslim guy might be a right charmer. But once they get pulled into that way of Islam, they're going to be in a world of pain. Absolute world of pain. I find it so difficult because I know there's good Muslims out there. There's got to be some good Muslims. And the only ones you really hear about are the bad Muslims. But there's a lot of them. There's not 10, 20, 300, 400. There's thousands of them. And also, amongst these, especially with the refugees that have been coming in, the immigrants, there will be terrorists. It's inevitable. There's going to be terrorists amongst them. The one thing these people aren't is stupid. They may be uncivilised in many, many ways, but they're not stupid. They will be getting refugees coming in and slipping in those terrorists in their 10s, 20s. And they'll just be waiting for their time. That's why I had to go to London yesterday. I had to show. I said on my Facebook page, I said, I'm not afraid. That's talk. It's easy, isn't it? But to go up there and to actually be a few hundred yards away from the bridge where that terrorist attack took a week and a half ago, that shows bravery. And the other 400 people with me showed bravery. You could say, oh, what about the people walking about London every day? No, we made ourselves a target yesterday. We made ourselves a target to say, right, if you want us, here we are, come and get us. We won't stand for your ways. If you want to attack us, we will fight back. There was no fighting from Britain First. The only people who tried to attack were the Antifa kiddywinks. I take it the Teletubbies wasn't until later that day. And they're as animalistic as the faith of Islam. I don't know if they're uneducated, misinformed, or just bloody stupid. If they can't see what's going on, there's a group of us protesting against Islamic terrorism in the UK, 1,000 yards from Westminster Bridge, where a terrorist attack happened a week and a half ago. And you've got a protest saying what we're doing is wrong. So that means they think that terrorism is okay. Yeah, it's interesting thought, isn't it? I think it's Winston Churchill said something along the lines that liberals will be the next fascists. And that's what's happened. The Liberals are the next fascists. They don't know it. They're going, oh, we're anti-fascist. And everything they do is to try and stop freedom of speech, freedom of movement. We had to go exactly where the police told us yesterday. We didn't have any rights whatsoever. But nobody had to go to the police. They're just doing their job. Not very well, in my opinion, because it's all too one-sided. But, well, I had a laugh and a joke with a couple of the coppers, and they were alright. But if you look again on YouTube, this Antifa bunch of kiddies, the police are having to get in there with them and drag 14 of those got arrested. 14 Antifa got arrested. No Britain First got arrested. What does the mainstream media report? That there were arrests. And it also, some of them said, some of Britain First was arrested. It's rubbish. It was all Antifa. I don't know what you are. If you're watching this video, you're probably patriotic. You're probably unsure what you can do. One of the things you could have done if you was in the reach of London was yesterday, come on the march. It's a beginning. It's not the answer. You can walk up and down until your feet are blistered to high heaven. And it won't actually change anything. But what it does is let the government know, it lets the followers of Islam know that there are people that know what's going on. And we will not accept it. I, for one, won't accept it. I've got nothing to gain. Yeah, I've got a daughter and a son. But for personal reasons, I rarely see them. But God, I think about them and worry about them. My daughter, she actually lives and works in London. So, obviously, I worry myself sick about it. And she's just had a child. What's that child going to grow up into? Great Britain? Dunno. Really not sure. By the time that child is 20, this country could be an Islamic nation. And if you think that is overcooking it, it isn't. I did really well not to swear then. Never noticed until I started videoing that my broken nose really shows up badly on video. Sorry, I'm going off track. It's rather hard when you've got a parrot sitting on your head and it starts to talk. So I'd better wrap this up. But if you want to do something about what's going on, you need to do it now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. You need to do it now. If you want to talk to me about it, if you want to send me abuse, if you're a Muslim or whatever, email me. I'm on Phil, Phil, BHAFC. Leave out the walls and at gmail.com. Please get in touch. I personally am trying to get people together who are like-minded to make a stand against what is going on. How I intend to do that yet, haven't quite figured that one out. But the one thing we need is numbers. Numbers is what scares the government. Because numbers means if it's against the government, they're not going to get voted in. That's when they start to worry. That's all they care about. Because once they're in, they can do what they like. There's only one person who should be Prime Minister of this country now, and that's Nigel Farage. I used to think he was a total tosser. And then I took the time to listen to him, what he's done in Brussels, in the European Parliament. He is brilliant. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's intelligent. I don't think he's a racist. I wouldn't know unless I sat down and had a deep conversation with him, which is quite unlikely. Well, I was only a few yards from Tommy Robinson yesterday, and he seems a nice enough guy. He's only about 4'3". Sorry, Tommy, but I didn't realise he was lacking in height. I suppose it's lucky for me, rolling in at 6'2". But just do something now, please. Please do something now. You don't have to join a group where you think it will conflict with your values. I know it's hard because you seem to have the two extremes. The liberal idiots or the far right that are reacting to the liberal idiots, and so are probably being a bit more extreme than they would be if they thought it through carefully. Where I want to be is middle right. I want to be where we're doing something about it, but not taking it out on everybody. There's, you know, the black people went through hell for years, didn't they? That got sorted out. Black people live in this country now. Alright, I know what you're going to say, a lot of black people are Muslims, but I'm talking about black people that aren't Muslims, obviously. And we live together quite harmoniously now. This country does need a bit of diversification. Cool, I'm glad I didn't cock that one up. And yeah, that is probably good for the country. But you mustn't lose your identity. Once you lose your identity, your country is lost. Sweden's lost its identity and will be an Islamic nation within the next 5 years. That Sweden, that lovely, easygoing country, is lost to Islam. You're saying, no, it's not. It hasn't been on the BBC. BBC won't show you that. You'll get frightened. You'll want to do something about it. You will react. If you lived in America now, they're going through such a world of change because a man who knew what was going on run for presidency. I can say Islamification and all that, but I can't say presidency. And he's come in and he's turning that country back into the great country that it was. Alright, it was made by us British, let's be honest. Rule Britannia. Sorry. That's humour, it's not, I'm not being... But, it's the British. Anyway, what was I saying? I haven't got a clue now. Yeah, Trump has transformed the way America works now. They know what's going on with Islam. Difference is, Islam kicks off there, they get their heads blown off. Over here, we say boo to them, then we're in trouble. I'm not advocating going out and shooting them. Unless they've raped a 6-year-old girl. But no, that's just a hypothetical situation. But we need to stand up to them in a more vociferous, I'm coming out with the words today, vociferous way. And the whole of Britain needs to do it as well. You liberals, I don't understand you. I don't know whether it is because you only watch the BBC or ITV, basically the mainstream media. If any of you didn't know what MSM is, written in lots of things on the internet, it's mainstream media. And when you should really watch YouTube, because that's where you get the truth. It's real people videoing what's going on. You can't go anywhere now without there being a video of it. I worry sometimes when I go for a pee whether it's going to end up on YouTube. I suppose I better stop filming it anyway. So just stop believing that this country is great and the Muslims are going to integrate. They are natural deceivers. They are told in their Quran it is okay to deceive the unbeliever in order to get him to turn to Islam. In other words, they're going to butter you up, tell you all the right things, and then you're going to fall into their trap, and there you go. Too late. Here, Gene, get your burqa on, we're going out, and do it now, otherwise I'll give you a slap round the head. Some blokes might like that part of the Islamic faith, but not for me, I'm afraid. And a message to the police force. Hello. I expect you're bloody watching, because you watch anybody who tries to save this country. And MI5 and FBI. How you doing? One tooth, I love it, it's great. When it done soon. A few weeks. Anyway. I keep going off course, don't I? Message to the police force. Stand up for what you think is right. You have been given illegal orders when it comes down to policing Muslims. You know it. The coppers I spoke to yesterday. I said a few things to them in jest and they sort of just smirked. It's no good saying I'm just doing my job, because you're not. Because if those orders are illegal, or you think they're illegal, then you should refuse to do them. Yeah, it takes brave people to do that. But you're the police. If you aren't brave, who is? I saw a video the other day of you running away from Muslims who were shouting at you, cowards, cowards. It almost brought me to tears then, and it almost brings me to tears now. What are you doing? If that had been our march yesterday, and us British first lot had started chasing you, shouting cowards, cowards, you would have been in us with your batons, smashing our faces in, nicking the smallest person you could get hold of, and 10 of you taking them off so you could get out of it. People have lost respect for the police force. I lost respect for it a long time ago because I've been treated very badly by the police. But the ordinary public are starting to lose respect for you. I noticed that in London there's posters going around that the respect for the police has been lost. It used to be something that you would do as a career and be proud of. I actually started off as a Metropolitan Police cadet at 16 years of age. I soon found it wasn't for me, it didn't agree with my thoughts, even at that age. But you can't have any pride in your job anymore. You must go out every day thinking, oh, what crap am I going to get today from these Muslims where I can't do anything? Sorry, Islamic faith followers, I prefer to call it that, otherwise not all Muslims are the same. And you're going to get chased. I saw them firing fireworks at your car. What did you do? Reversed the car away and pissed off. It's not good when members of the public looking out the windows are seeing our police running away from Islamic followers, is it? So it's time for you to stand up. The police around the country. If you watch this video, don't get angry with me, get angry with yourselves. You know what's going on. You know what's going on. You're not stupid. If you think you can get away saying, I'm just following orders, think back about the defence of all the Nazis in the Nuremberg trials. I was just following orders. Yeah, it's that bad, because this is an invasion. This is a war. It's already a war, a stealth war. But I'm certain that it will break out into civil unrest followed by civil war if the police, the government And even the army don't get a hold of it now. And the only way they do that is by people like us having numbers saying, oi, enough's enough. We voted you in, you do what we want. You've done it once with Brexit, you're now going to do it with the Islamic faith. Excuse me for sniffing. It's cold out here. I ended up getting angry again, didn't I? Tired, long day yesterday. Right, that's half an hour I've been rambling on. But I believe in what I say. If you believe it and want to do something but don't know what to do, rewind this. It's that button with the 2 arrows. Makes you go back. Find my email and contact me. We can talk. You can just say hi to start with. How's it going? That's fine. But the more people that want to do something to save this country, then we will start to make headway. Because at the moment we're losing. Britain is losing the war. Britain is losing the battle. But it's also losing the war at the moment. Contact me and let's get our voices heard. And let's stop these... I can't think of an appropriate word at the moment. I'd end up saying something I'd regret. When I saw a video yesterday, when I got home from the march, I was just having a look for it. No, it wasn't. It was the day before, actually. I don't know, whenever it was. A 12-year-old girl had been drugged, raped and murdered. When they found her, she had froth coming out of her mouth from the drugs that she'd had forced down her, and she'd been raped by a gang of Muslims. Wasn't in this country. Does it have to be? It's the Islamic faith that's coming over and over and over to this country slowly but surely. And she was a Christian girl, and because the police were Muslims, they refused an autopsy. They refused to investigate, saying that she had killed herself. She had been raped, and she had chemicals foaming out of her mouth, and it is a known way of raping women and girls in that country, and the police wouldn't investigate. Who does that sound like? So those of you with a 12-year-old daughter, just think about it.
Big round of applause for Deputy Leader Jada Benson!
Thank you all. Quite an intro from Paul as well, thank you. Now, just yesterday, somebody asked me, what do I think it means to be British? And now this was a left-wing journalist, so I'm quite sure he wasn't expecting my response to be what it was. Because for me, being British is quite simple. I don't care what colour, creed, religion, I don't care what your background, ethnicity, religion or otherwise. If you love this country and you love the people in it and you honour and respect it and you embrace our culture, our traditions, then you are British. I look around today and I see people from all different backgrounds, different ethnic backgrounds, different religious beliefs. I've spoken to people just a few moments ago and they've travelled from far and wide. Some people have moved here long term, What a fantastic country we live in. No wonder.